You know when you're playing a video game and the controller just stops working right? Your first thought is, okay, is it just one button that's busted, or is the whole thing fried? Well, believe it or not, about 150 years ago, scientists were asking that exact same question, but about the human brain. And it was all because one man had an unbelievable accident that was about to turn everything they thought they knew completely upside down.
So get this. This isn't some made-up scenario from a movie. This actually happened, and it created one of the greatest, most puzzling scientific mysteries of all time. The man at the very center of this incredible and frankly terrifying story was named Phineas Gage. And what happened to him forced us to rethink, well, everything about the most complex object in the known universe, our brain. Okay, so here's the story in a nutshell. Before this accident, Phineas Gage was, by all accounts, a great guy, a model employee, super reliable, well-liked, a real leader. Then, on September 13th, 1848, a freak explosion sent a 13-pound iron rod rocketing clean through his head. Now, here's the absolutely shocking part. Minutes later, he was conscious and talking. But the man who recovered was not the same man who got hurt. His friends put it best. They said, Gage was no longer Gage.
And that right there, that's the heart of the mystery. Physically, he seemed okay. He could walk, he could talk, but his personality, his actual character, had been completely rewritten. The friendly, responsible guy was gone, and in his place was someone impulsive, rude, and just unreliable. This baffled everyone, and it raised a huge question for science. How could a physical injury to the brain so radically change who a person is?
So Gage's case landed like a bombshell right in the middle of this huge scientific showdown. You see, there were two teams of scientists with totally different ideas about how the brain worked, and they were about to go head-to-head over this.
All right, so first up, you had the Wholebrainers. They believed the brain was like a huge, chaotic kitchen crew. For any job, whether you're solving a math problem or trying to remember your friend's name, the entire brain just pitches in. They thought if one part got damaged, no big deal. Other parts could just step up and take over. For them, it was all about teamwork and flexibility. But then you had the other side, the Localizers. Their theory was that the brain is way more like your smartphone. You've got different apps for different things, right? There's a language app, a memory app, a movement app. If you damage one of those apps, you only lose that specific function. The rest of the phone works just fine. So for them, it was all about specialization.
Okay, so let's boil it down. Team brain versus team parts. The Wholebrainers said the brain is one big unified system that adapts as a team. The Localizers said, nope, it's a collection of specialists, and if you damage one specialist, you lose that one skill. This was the big fight, and both sides were absolutely certain they were right. And this is where it gets really wild. Phineas Gage became the star witness for both sides. The Wholebrainers would point to him and say, see, he can still walk and talk. His brain adapted as a whole. But the Localizers would fire right back. Yeah, but his personality is gone. That proves the rod destroyed the specific personality center in his brain. It was a total scientific stalemate, with Gage stuck right in the middle. So, who was right? Who won the great brain debate? Well, after decades of research and some incredible new technology, we finally have an answer. It's time to hear the modern verdict. And here it is, the big plot twist. They were both kind of right and also kind of wrong. The real answer is so much more elegant and complex than either side could have imagined. Turns out the truth is a mix of both of their ideas.
Probably the best way to think about your brain today is like a championship basketball team. Seriously. You have specialized players, a point guard, a center, and they're all experts at their specific jobs. That's what the Localizers got right. But to actually win a game, they all have to work together perfectly. Even a simple task, like reading this sentence, needs your visual areas, your language areas, and your memory centers all cooperating. That's the teamwork the Wholebrainers were talking about. And yeah, if one player gets injured, sometimes the rest of the team can adapt and learn to fill in the gaps. It's the best of both worlds. And speaking of this incredible teamwork, the brain has some really weird quirks built into its design. Like, get this, your brain is actually cross-wired. When you wave with your right hand, it's the left side of your brain sending the signal. And when you move your left foot, that's your right brain at work. It's just another wild layer to how specialized and interconnected this thing really is.
So we've solved the mystery of Phineas Gage, but let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer, raw power of the 3-pound superstar that's sitting in your skull right now. I mean, the numbers here are just mind-boggling. Let's start with this one. 86 billion. That's the estimated number of neurons, brain cells, you have. To put that into perspective, that's more neurons in your head than there are stars in our entire galaxy. And every single one of them is connecting to thousands of others. The complexity is just staggering. And that massive network is busy. It processes around 100 million messages of information, not per day, not per hour, every single second. And that's not when you're doing something hard. That's right now just listening to me. Your brain is quietly doing things a supercomputer could only dream of. And what about efficiency? This one always gets me. Your brain makes up only about 2% of your body's weight, but this tiny little organ uses a whopping 20% of all your energy. It is an incredibly powerful and incredibly hungry machine. It's really no wonder that the famous physicist Dr. Michio Kaku said this. You know, from the tragic, unbelievable accident of one railroad worker, we've unraveled secrets about this little universe inside our own heads. It just confirms we're dealing with something almost beyond our comprehension. So, to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with a question. Think about something you do every single day. It could be playing a sport, texting a friend, even just cooking dinner. What's something that requires both specialized skills and that incredible teamwork from that superstar basketball team in your head? It's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it.